can you explain a little bit about, first, I guess, what you do here at Towson?
Okay, at Towson, I'm the Director of African American Student Development. So I work with our African American student population, specifically leadership development, advising student groups, and doing cultural programming like Black History Month, the Black Student Leadership Conference. And just in general, as a member of the Center for Student Diversity, we do diversity education, workshops and trainings across campus. We do our annual retreat for social justice, just making sure that we're doing whatever we can to educate students about cultural competency and making sure that the campus in general is welcoming and inclusive of all students.
How long have you been working here for?
This is rounding out my 4th year here at Towson.
Are you originally from here? How did you end up working at Towson?
No, I'm not originally from here. Actually, I'm an Air Force brat, so we moved around a lot. My family's originally from Louisiana, but when I was younger, we moved around to a lot of different places. I went to college in New Orleans at Xavier University, and then I went to grad school in Philadelphia. So I've always been kind of a nomad. And when I went to grad school in Philadelphia, I was actually going to be a professor because I knew I wanted to work on a college campus, but I didn't know exactly. I thought that the only thing you could do on a college campus was be a professor. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go be a professor. And then I went to grad school and I was like, I don't think I want to be a professor. And that's when I realized that there are other administrators on campuses that help students out. And it was actually after I reflected, I realized those people were the people that made me want to work on a college campus. And so I got into student affairs and just, started doing jobs. Most of the time that I spent in my career was spent in the Midwest. So I worked in Michigan and St. Louis and in Illinois. And I was looking for another position. I was looking for a move and a change. And I was part of one of our national organizations. Every year they have job fairs. And Towson was one of the people interviewing for this job, and I thought it was a really good mix because my master's degree is in African American Studies, my undergrad degree is in philosophy, and so it was like I can use one of those degrees finally in what I do, yay! So it was a good combination of what I love to do in student affairs plus the concentration that I had in African American Studies, and so I interviewed for the job and they gave it to me, so I picked up and I moved. And the other good thing was that I did, one of my sisters lives out here, and so I was looking in certain areas of the country because I had lived away from family for so long that I was trying to get near somebody. So Baltimore was one of those places.
Do you ever get antsy, like you want to travel more because you're not used to staying in one place for so long?
Yeah, I do sometimes. I would actually like to travel more. I think I don't really travel a lot, for leisure, and so I used to joke with people and say, "Oh, when I want to go somewhere new, I just move, I just pick up and go and move there." So then that way I get like a vacation for years and years and years. But I do like the fact of being in a place for a while. I mean, I think I started to appreciate that more and over the last several years, and so being able to stay and kind of see students develop all throughout their careers and being in one place and being able to connect with the community more is always very nice.
Is there anything special about Towson that's really drawn you in and made it feel like home to you?
It's always the students. I mean, they're just so fun and smart, and when I first got here, I think they were a little not shy, but they were just kind of like, we don't know you. But once I got to know them and they got to know me and we developed a rapport, it just became like a family. And every year there's a new group that comes in, and it's just seeing them and seeing the development. And the students here are so driven, I think, and they're so open to learning that it just makes it good. It's why I got into student affairs, and so it's like my little fix. That's what I get. I get energy from when students go, "Oh, I learned that," or "Oh, you helped me do this." I'm like, yeah. Gives me a high. A good high.
What do you do when you're outside of the office, when you're not on campus?
When I'm not on campus, I sleep. We do a lot of a lot of long hours, but the one thing that I do on a regular basis is I run. So I'm a runner, and I've run 2 half marathons. I ran the Baltimore 2 years ago, and then I ran the Lead Strong last May. And I will be training. I start training next week actually for a marathon I'm going to run in November. So I like doing that. I hang out with friends. I love like movies and music and all of that. So every now and again I get to take in a concert. You know, I like this. I used to live, the place I lived before here was Macomb, Illinois. And it was, the university was basically the only thing there. And so the university was 10,000, so I think the town was like 11,000. And we had to drive like an hour and a half to get to a mall, you know, that type of thing. And so I like being in the Maryland area, Maryland, D.C. area, because there's lots of culture, there's lots of opportunities. You know, we have festivals every other day in the summertime, you know, and you get to hear music and you get to go to plays and different things of that nature. So I love that. I love doing things like that.
And you mentioned your sister lives around here too?
Yes, yes, she is. She's a principal at New Era Academy. And so every now and again we get to work together. We had students, we bring high school students on with our Black Student Union. They bring high school students on for a weekend so they can see what college is like. And so several of her students like come to that and everything. And then I have my niece and my nephew, so then I can always like, you know, get to play with them. Actually, since I've been here since my nephew was a little baby. So he was, I guess he was 1 or 2 when I was here, when I first got here. And so now, like, over the several years, like, he's my buddy. He likes me. Like, he's the one man I know lights up in the room when I come in the room. So, you know, that's been really, really nice, is being able to have quality time with them. And you can get to know my sister, because she was my big sister, and we've never lived in the same area since she graduated from high school, back in 1911. No, I think she graduated. What year was she graduated? She graduated in 1984, and so we hadn't lived in the same city since then. And so it was interesting getting to know her, and not as a sister, because at some point I was like, "Listen, you're not the boss of me anymore. We're adults. Leave me alone." And so we had a conversation about, okay, we're gonna move our relationship. We're gonna be equals at this point, you know. Even though every now and again she pulls the big sister stuff on me, but it's been fun. It's been a good experience.
And do you picture yourself staying here for a long time, or do you want to travel anywhere else and live anywhere else?
I see myself staying here. I love this area. Even if I were to transition, I don't know if I would transition out of the region. I mean, I'm set right now. Like, nothing's really, you know, pushing me right now. I think I'm still, what I try to do, I don't like to leave things unfinished, and so I always try to assess, like, have I done everything that I can do in my current position? If I've done everything that I can do, then that's usually when I want to either do something totally different in that position, change some things up, or move on to another position where I can, you know, make another impact. So I think I'm still making an impact here.
Thank you very much. That's all I have, unless there's anything else you'd like for students to know about you that they might not know.
They can come see me. I'm here for all students, so I know, you know, I work a lot with the African American population, but I've worked with students in leadership and in different organizations, and so you know, all the years that I've been in student affairs, this is the first job where I've been specifically just in a diversity office. So I've done leadership programs, I've done, you know, campus activities board, I've advised campus activities board, I've worked in housing. So really and truly, any student who, you know, wants somebody to talk to, or needs some advice, or needs somebody to help them plan a program or do something, I'm here. So